Well, it came about because the wonderful Shari Lowe, whose work I've admired for years, she's written over 14 novels. She's an old pal, and we've always got on brilliantly. And she talked to me about the possibility of doing a biography. And I said, well, I think that's more of a pamphlet than, than an actual book, to be honest. And I thought I really couldn't put half the stories that have happened in my life into a book and to tell the truth. And then I suddenly thought, well, how could we do it in a slightly roundabout way? And then I realized that I had this incredible reservoir of stories and experiences that have happened to me, not only in Glasgow, but also when I went to America. And so Sherry's such a wonderful storyteller, so we decided we'll just get together and we'll do this book. And it was only January 2013 when we really spoke about it. And I can't believe that here we are, you know, August 2014, we're here in Waterston's and the book is out and it's really there, and it is quite mind-blowing for me that we're actually at this point and I'm sitting chatting with you and we're talking about it.
And you managed to do this when you were in LA, and Shari, the other co-author,
Yeah.
was here in Glasgow, and together you've done it, haven't you? It's been crazy from what I gather.
It's been absolute madness. It was one of those things where we thought, could we pull this off? And can we pull it off? And pull it off in such a short space of time? And it is amazing that it has come together. But I think part of it was that it's two places that we both love, Glasgow and LA. I think we wanted to create something that hadn't really been done before, which sounds ridiculous in the world of books. But, you know, we both loved, you know, I grew up with Sidney Sheldon books, Jackie Collins, I've read every single one of Jackie's books. We wanted to do something like that, but also for it to be quite dark, to be a thriller, to be a bit of a mystery, to have people on the edge of their seats, not quite knowing exactly where it was going to go story-wise. And so our thing was to create something that was different, that would surprise people, but also that involved two wonderful places that have got so many great stories themselves. And for me, it was a little bit of just pulling the curtain back on Hollywood for people at home so that they could read these stories and go, oh, so that's how that works, or that's how it happens. It's not quite like being the master magician and giving away all the secrets, but we're certainly giving away a few of the secrets. And also people can guess at, you know, who certain bits of the book are based on, certain characters. I mean, they are complete fictional characters, but people will see little bits of different people in them.
As a showbiz reporter, you've got lots of celeb friends. Were some of those people worried about maybe being named and shamed, maybe?
I think some friends have been worried, but I think in a nice way. I think they know that I'm not that kind of a journalist or that kind of a writer. But yeah, there's certainly been a few phone calls of, you know, did that event that happened when we were in Hawaii make it in the book? And you're going, well, yes, but it may have happened somewhere else now to protect it. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of that. But it's funny that someone like Jerry Butler, who of course has been a pal for years, now huge international movie star, and he actually said that he thinks the book's a brilliant read. It is a slice of Hollywood. He said it was brilliant, but he would never tell me that. And then also said, but P.S., I am not Xander Leith. And Xander Leith is one of the main characters in the book, who is a male action movie star. But I had to tell him, Jerry, this guy's really good looking, and he's very good at accents, so it's not you.
What a confidence there,
Yeah.
Jared. Ellie is all about plastic surgery and beauty and all the rest of it. Do you lift the lid in any of that in your book?
Very much so. And in fact, Dr. Lancet, who's a dermatologist to the stars, Dr. Lancet himself is in the book, and he's in the book as himself, which he loves, and he was very happy to be part of it all. So we talk a lot about, you know, what goes on and the fact that, you know, everyone denies that they've had anything done. And I've said it before, you know, I used to think it was 95% of the people had something done, but now we're up to, you know, as they themselves say, 99%. And when I say they, that's the dermatologists and the surgeons in LA, and especially in Beverly Hills, where there are more plastic surgeons concentrated there than anywhere else in the world. But also we talk about some of the stuff that is coming out along, which is new too. And even there's a new machine that's just come out, which is the first FDA approved, so it's been approved by the Medical Society in America, which is more of it's like a heat transference thing. So it's non-invasive, and people just go in, and it's like this heat mask that's put on them, and it rejuvenates all the different parts inside the face and gives people what is basically a non-surgical facelift. So we do talk about what people have had done, and again, lifting the curtain back on it just a little bit.
So it's not all just make-believe. You are given a little taster of what Hollywood life really is like.
Oh, very much so. No, there's a lot of stories that are revealed there, and a lot of things that what happens in terms of publicists and the paparazzi. And the paparazzi get a very bad name, but a lot of people don't realize that the paparazzi are at certain things because the star themselves or the star's publicist has told them exactly where they will be, exactly what they'll be wearing, exactly what time they're going to be there. So there's a lot of that goes on, and I think that sometimes people at home just watching the TV, if they watch an interview, don't realize all what else goes on. And we even talk about the film junkets, because a lot of people watch TV and see people being interviewed for the movies, but I actually take you behind the scenes and what happens in the corridors outside as people are waiting to do the interviews. I mean, you know what it's like, you've been around all these things. It's the little bits that go on behind the scenes that people don't really know. So we're just it's smoke and mirrors, and we're just showing it for what it is.
What it's like, because that's the thing, isn't it? Image is just so important in LA, isn't it? Because I was having a laugh just this morning reading about Chris Martin apparently dating Jennifer Lawrence, and shock horror, she eats pizza.
Yes.
It doesn't seem like a big deal to us here in Scotland, but it is over there, yeah?
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, diet is such a huge part, but also with the whole LA lifestyle, and it is a lifestyle, the fact that you're living in sunshine most of the time, so you're not starving and you're not craving comfort food, and also you're wearing not a lot of clothes most of the time. So I think anyone who's any body conscious or any kind of image conscious at all is thinking, I want to look my best. And also it's easy because you can plan things. You can say, I'm going to go and have a nice big walk tomorrow, because it's not going to be raining, it's going to be sunny. You can plan to go and play tennis or go and play football, and you're not going to be out getting drenched in the rain. So it really does make life so much easier, and it's so much easier to live a healthy lifestyle, but also it caters for that too, so even when you go into the coffee shop, it is quite funny, and maybe it's the exact same here now, is that everything has got the calorie count below it. Every single thing. So if you just want to get a little cookie, it's got the calorie count below it, which is not a bad thing, because you're always looking at it thinking, oh, and then something that you thought was much sweeter or much less healthy is actually better. So it's interesting. I think it does educate you a little bit that way.
I mean, it is the place where beauty is, isn't it? Lots of beautiful celebs, and you've had the pleasure of meeting them all, haven't you? Who have you been chatting to lately that's maybe given you some ideas for your book?
Whenever I meet anyone now, and it's funny, Jackie Collins, who to me is, she's the woman, she set the bar, and she was the first person to read the book, which was unbelievable for me. And she said, look, I'll read the book, I'll give you a critique, I'll give you a little quote if you want, which, the best way I can describe it, it's like a schoolboy handing in his ink exercise. And you're hoping that she's going to give you a gold star because she's your favorite teacher. And thankfully, we did get a gold star, and she really enjoyed it. But when you're dealing with people like that, you get so many pearls of wisdom. So she'll say things like, watch everything that goes on. And also, as she said, people will start to give you stories, because much as people don't want to reveal too much, but they love to say to someone, oh, that character, that's based on me, or that actually happened to me, and Ross has changed it, and Shari's changed that. So it's very much like that they might fake this, oh, I don't want anything to do with this, but a lot of them do. And I know as well from Jackie's books, because there's a couple of times that people have been in that, and I've said, is that me, Jackie? And she goes, well, there's a good bit of you in that. And I think that's a great answer, because that she probably says that to everyone.
Do you get that? If celebs come up to you and say, is that me?
Yes, I've had that with two people so far.
Can you tell us who?
No. But I can tell you that, yeah.
Slightly,
yeah, it's only slightly. But it is funny that one of them I said, yeah, well, that thing that happened is there, but it's different.
I'm going to throw a few names at you.
Yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Catherine Zeta-Jones. Catherine's, yes, we spoke about the book, but she's not in it.
Are we going to have a movie?
Well, we're in talks at the moment. There's two production companies in America that we've talked to. One production company in London that I just had a meeting with last week. And the way that we'd really like to go with it, if it's at all possible, and indeed if we get a say in it, is to almost go back to when they did those big mini-series. You remember Rich Man, Poor Man, The Thornbirds, and Scruples was my favourite. And I think now that people are so into binge viewing, they get the box set and they just go right through it. So one idea and one production company I've spoken to, they've said they really like that idea, and maybe make it and then show it over a week and show it, 5 weeks. Or equally, Sherry and I both love Scandal, and we think this has got a bit of a Scandal feel to it. There's it's the thriller, there's mystery, there's intrigue, there's scandal, there's gossip, and also it's very raunchy. I mean, Lorraine Kelly said, I've learned things from this, which is very interesting, which we shall have more debates about in the future. But the funniest one for me was that we basically finished the whole book, and we were going to meet up in New York, and a couple of things happened, and I had to go to New York, and Sherry couldn't make it. Then I ended up going to Florida to Sue Barker's home, the great broadcaster and former tennis player. And I went to her house to just finish little bits off. And Sherry and I decided that we'd finish everything off, and then the final sex scene that we were writing, we would just take our time and have a laugh and do that as the final thing, so that it would be a real fun ending. Because we actually were getting really sad the book was coming to an end. So we got all together, but I didn't tell Sue and Lance that that's what we were doing. So in this beautiful home they have, there's kind of glass that looks into an office, and I was sitting at the computer with Sherry, and we're doing all, FaceTime and back and forth and this idea and that idea. And of course it got quite raunchy. And they walked by, and Sue was saying to Lance, her husband, going, is he in a sex chat room? So it was I had to kind of say, afterwards, Lance was going, what the heck was going on there? And I said, what do you mean? I said, I was writing with Sherry. And he said, oh, because we looked in and we just saw this, blonde girl's head up at the corner of the screen, and you with your back to us. And I said, yeah, but I was fully clothed. So just
and
remember
you
that.
take your research seriously.
Very seriously. I mean, I take my raunch very seriously. And you've got to do in-depth research. Every pun intended.
Oh, well, Ross, thank you so much for speaking to us. It's been an absolute
Thank you.
pleasure.
So lovely to see you too as well, Kelly. And thank you so much.